Welcome back to You Plus You podcast. I am your host, Markia. Today we're diving into simple yet actionable steps for working on yourself as your biggest project. This isn't about quick fixes, but it is about building sustainable habits and fostering genuine growth from the inside out. Are you ready to invest in your greatest asset? If your answer is yes, then let's get started. All right, so think about this. If you agree that we are our biggest project, then the question that I have to ask is, how do we actually do the work on ourselves? Because it can be a bit overwhelming. But knowing that, we have to understand that it's about small, consistent steps. You want to embrace those imperfections. You are not an imperfect person. You're actually perfect, right? We were all created with this perfection within us. However, over time, we've picked up imperfect habits and behaviors, right? So then when thinking about it that way, it's about the progress over time when it relates to working on ourselves. Because over this progression, it's important that we are kind to ourselves, that we treat ourselves and deal with ourselves gently, giving ourselves space to grow. And you do this by self-reflection and being aware of who you are. That awareness and self-reflection comes with asking questions and being curious. Curious about what triggers you, what causes anger within you, what causes that frustration. And on a positive note, right? What brings you joy? What makes you happy? What makes you smile? Being curious about yourself helps for you to be able to be more aware of who you are. And when asking yourself questions and seeking an answer, for me, I like to write in my journal. It helps for me to explore my thoughts, my feelings, patterns, and then answer any questions that I've asked myself because I trust that the answers will come. And then I love quiet time. It allows for me to meditate and be mindful of myself, that time to reflect and pray. Taking time to simply observe thoughts, my emotions, without judgment, right? That's that compassion that I provide myself. And then seeking feedback, right? So asking trusted friends, family members, a mentor, or even a therapist for honest insight into those blind spots. We all have blind spots. Hence why it's important to be curious about yourself. Hence why it's important to ask yourself questions, because it allows for you to see those blind spots. And then having those people around you that can possibly shine the light on your blind spots so that you're able to see them. Prioritizing your well-being is important to working on yourself. Your spiritual, physical, mental, and emotional well-being, they all go hand in hand, right? You can't work on one thing honestly without the other because they all go hand in hand. And so for the physical aspect of your health, exercising is important. Nourishing food, whole foods, adequate sleep. Those are all non-negotiables to building a solid foundation for yourself. Your mental health is important because if you're not setting boundaries for those around you that may be taking away from you, be it if it's maybe your job or whatever it may be, then you are giving too much of yourself, right? And then you want to manage your stress levels because that's important to your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health, as well as seeking professional help if you need it. It's important that you also regulate your emotions. Emotional regulation helps for you to learn and identify and process your emotions in healthy ways. So rather than suppressing your emotions or exploding, having an emotional explosion because you've built up all of this and then now it's coming out in an explosive way, or even avoiding emotions. Those are all in healthy ways. You don't want to do that, right? So learning how to have healthy emotional regulation by identifying and processing your emotions again in healthy ways. You want to continuously learn and develop yourself. You can do this by reading, right? Exploring books on personal growth, psychology, philosophy, or anything that actually sparks your curiosity and interest that helps for you to grow and then develop yourself is important. Learning new skills. What would that skill be? What is it that you want to learn? Is it a new language? Is it a creative pursuit like playing the piano, learning how to play the piano or guitar or paint or draw, right? Create content. Or it could be a professional skill. Learning keeps your mind agile, right? It helps for you to constantly evolve and expand. Or the other thing is that you can listen to a podcast such as this one, possibly take courses that will help you to continue to grow. Leverage resources that challenge your thinking and expand your knowledge and skill set. Thinking about all of this, you definitely want to set goals and then take action. You want to identify those areas of growth in your life. What aspects of yourself do you want to improve? Be specific and intentional about it. And then once you make that discovery, once you are clear on it, you want to set SMART goals. SMART goals meaning being specific about the goal, right? Measuring the goal, meaning when you look at your goals and you write out the tasks to help you to accomplish those goals, you want to measure, meaning as you complete the task, that's a sign of measurement, completion. You want to also make those goals achievable, right? Meaning small, bite-sized steps at a time so that you don't become overwhelmed. And then make the goal relevant, meaning how important is this goal to you? The importance of the goal helps for you to complete and accomplish that particular goal. And then set a timeline as to when you want that goal accomplished or completed, right? Because that helps for your personal development when you're able to then accomplish the goal. Take consistent, small steps. Don't wait for motivation. Your motivation is the fact that you acknowledge that you want to grow in a specific area in your life. That's your motivation. You want to build sustainable habits around that as well, right? What would the habits look like? Taking maybe 15 minutes a day to and think about 15 minutes a day, small, right? Meaning I have 15 minutes. I'll take 15 minutes a day to work on myself, whatever that is. Because over time, that makes a huge difference. And remaining consistent in that. Build your support system around your growth, around your goals, around that intention. Surround yourself with positive influences, people who uplift you, challenge you, and genuinely want to see you succeed. If, in fact, you don't have that around you, those positive influences, you become that for yourself. You celebrate your success, yourself as you succeed. The other option is consider a coach or therapist. Sometimes external guidance is invaluable for accelerating your growth. It helps you. So I want you to remember that you are the common denominator in your life. And this journey is ongoing, right? It's a continuation. And every small step that you take contributes to a more resilient and fulfilled and authentic you. Don't ever underestimate the power that you have and the power of consistent effort and self-compassion. I want you to keep showing up for yourself, keep learning and keep growing. So I want to leave you with this question. What's one practical step you're going to implement this week so that you're able to invest in yourself? You are your most important project in your life. What one practical step are you ready to implement this week, today, right now? I'm your host, Markia, and this is You Plus You podcast. I want you to tune in next week as I talk about the powerful impact in being your biggest project and how it shapes your legacy in life. Until next week, I want you to be blessed.